Yeah, all right, so let's get into the Hippocratic Oath and see what it actually says. So, we'll read it, right? Oh, I swear by Apollo Healer, by Asclepius, and by Hygeia, and by Panacea, and by all the gods and goddesses, making them my witnesses, that I will carry out, according to my ability and judgment, this oath and this indenture. Now, a lot can be said about, secularism and all that stuff, and the pledging to pagan deities, but it's not really relevant, right? What's relevant, it's the actual content of the oath and all this stuff. So, I'm aware that a lot of this Greek, a lot of medical terminology comes from the Greek and all this stuff. And why? Because, Hippocrates was like the father of medicine or whatever. So, don't worry about that too much. I mean, it's not very important. But what's important to know is everything else that we're going to be talking about. Let's continue. To hold my teacher in this art equal to my own parents, to make him partner in my livelihood, when he is in need of money, to share mine with him, to consider his family as my own brothers, and to teach them this art, if they want to learn it, without fee or indenture, to impart precept, oral instruction, and all other instruction to my own sons, the sons of my teachers, and to indentured pupils who have taken the healer's oath, but to nobody else. Okay. All right, so let's continue on. All right, this is the one that's important here. So I will use those dietary regimens which will benefit my patients according to the greatest ability and judgment, and I will do no harm or injustice to them. So when's the last time you've heard a doctor, talk about nutrition, right? I've never had any such, suggestion. I've been to doctors a bunch of times, but they always seem to be pushing pills, and they don't really ask about, well, are you eating healthy and all that stuff. Um, in my personal experience, anyway. Neither will I administer a poison to anybody when asked to do so, nor will I suggest such a course. So that, takes maid medical assistance in dying into consideration here. So, similarly, I will not give a woman a pessary to cause an abortion. Will I keep pure, but I will keep pure and holy both my life and my art. I will not use the knife, not even verily on sufferers from stone, but I will give place to such as are craftsmen therein. Into whatsoever houses I enter, I will enter to help the sick, and I will abstain from all intentional wrongdoing and harm, especially from abusing the bodies of man or woman, bond or free, and whatsoever I shall see or hear in the course of my professional as well as outside my professional in my intercourse with men, if it be what should not be published abroad, I will never divulge, holding such things to be holy secrets. Now, if I carry this oath right, and break it not, may I gain forever reputation among all men for my life and for my art. But if I break it and forswear myself, may the opposite befall me. So, what is the opposite? Of course, is a to bring this. To bring medicine into disrepute, and that's exactly what's happening here. So, what is the breaking of the oath? Well, that is, of course, harming, harming a baby, and giving such a pessary or whatever. Maybe that's I know it's a different thing, but what is an IUD? I mean, can it be classified as a pessary? Well, it certainly is not. See, the thing is, doing no harm. I will abstain from doing any kind of wrongdoing or harm. Um, so really, what we have here is there's no direct punishment for violating the Hippocratic Oath, except that the dishonor and the stain of having brought healing, right, the administration of medicine into disrepute, and this certainly is a terrible thing. So we got a picture of that. I mean, it's not very important, but that is it's an ancient text, right? This is a an ancient text, and it is important to remember that this Hippocratic Oath, it means, basically do no harm, and, it says, don't cause. It literally says don't kill babies. Like it really does. Don't give like a pessary to a woman to that will cause an abortion and all this stuff. So let's just recap before we go here. This is the there's some pagan deities and all this stuff. Not very important. I know there's a whole bunch of people that can say, stuff about secularism and all this stuff. Don't even worry about that. It's not important. What's important here is to know that um, there's an oath here that they will take, and it says, don't do any kind of poison, so medical assistance in dying, just kill me, I'm gonna die anyways. Well, did you try to any other course of action or whatever? I mean, that's a topic that I'm not even gonna talk about, but it does say, I will not administer poisons, right? It does say that. So then, and then, not to cause any kind of abortion, and all that stuff, do no harm. That's basically what it says. So this is the Hippocratic Oath, that we're gonna see in detail. Right? This is what it is, and this is the English translation. All right. So thank you very much for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in the next video.